The new Entrepreneur Show is sponsored by Statewide Insurers Group. As an independent agency, we can shop your insurance needs for the best coverage and the best value. Also sponsored by the Small Business Centers of Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Community Colleges, as well as the Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship.
Hello there, and welcome to the first ever episode of the New Entrepreneur Show. In this case, New stands for Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson counties. And the mission of this show is twofold. Firstly, to provide information and education to help business people to improve their businesses, and to help folks who would like to start a business to get the information and the confidence to be able to do so. And secondly, our mission is to highlight and spotlight some successful entrepreneurs and educators in the area so that you can get to know them, learn from their experiences and stories, and learn some of the resources in the area that can help you be more successful. I'll be your host. My name is Fred George. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been in business for about 30 years, founding, managing, running, and expanding businesses. I've made my living that way. Most recently with Trade It, and now my new project, Small Shops Marketplace here in Rocky Mount. And one of my passions now is to share some of the knowledge I've gained over the last 3 decades with folks who can learn from it, who can do some good for. And my first guest is somebody who's spent her life in education, helping business people. Teresa Peden, who's the director of the Small Business Development Center, regional director of several community colleges here in North Carolina, North Central region, if I remember right. She's based in the Nash Community College and has some great programs. Teresa, what would you say the mission of the Small Business Development Center is?
Well, I can tell you about 3 words. Our mission is to increase business success. And so the state of North Carolina knows it's really good business to help small businesses and entrepreneurs succeed, because they're the backbone of the economy. They're the engine that drives the economy. And we do that. We help businesses succeed, increase their success by offering free business counseling, confidential one-on-one business counseling. And we also offer a good number of free business seminars. You do not have to be a graduate of the college or attend the college to receive our services. They're free to the public. We encourage you to come in for counseling. We're a great resource for sounding board to help with multiple things like loan packaging or helping people understand the regulations in different kinds of businesses. The Small Business Center Network was actually established in 1984, so we've been around for a while. We are across the state. There are 60 small business centers across the state. We serve all 100 counties.
Wow.
And so we have a really, really large network, and an area of expertise that I may have may be something that somebody else doesn't have. So we have like 60 different directors with a wealth of experience, many years of very varied knowledge that we can tap into. We also have a network of other business service providers at the local, state, federal levels. We work with SBA and the rural centers and the North Carolina Department of Agriculture. It's just a huge list, way too large for me to try to tap into all of them right now. But if we can't help you with what you need help with, we can certainly make a professional referral to someone that can help you. We also have a resource center that we have books and CDs, tapes, pamphlets, information, computers, where people can sit down and work on some things with our help and guidance.
So that's a lot.
It is a lot.
I wish I had that when I was first starting out in business. Right. I just sort of felt along, feeling my way through it and figuring it out. I've attended some of the classes that Nash Community College has put on and learned a lot. 30 years in business, and there's still so much to learn. Some of your speakers are amazing. What projects are you really excited about right now?
Well, a couple of, but first I would like to take a minute and pause and just thank you personally for coming out and speaking to one of our classes recently about your story. So I think it's always motivational for people to hear from a serial entrepreneur, interestingly, on how you started multiple businesses with $500 or less, and even with someone else's money. So, there are a couple of people in the class that have been wanting to start a business, but a little bit hesitant, and I think that helped them to realize they don't need to get paralysis by analysis, overthinking things. Sometimes you just need to jump out there and do it.
It's a big jump.
It is a big jump.
Sometimes you got to go ready, fire, aim.
It is, and it's always a risk to start a business. There's a saying that goes like this: don't be afraid to go out on a limb, that's where all the fruit is.
Heck yeah.
And that's true, but we don't want the limb to crack and break and you break your leg along the way. So that's why I think that sounding board and talking to somebody about the feasibility of your ideas, and different people see things different ways, so they may think of something to help you focus on it that you totally overlooked.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was great for them to hear from you. But some of the things that we have going on at Nash Community College specifically, we wrote a couple of grants this year, and we were able to get funding from N.E.W. Really helped us put together 3 classes. They have full scholarships, and it's called Ice House Entrepreneurial Mindset. And so it's a problem-based solution thinking type of training. It immerses folks right into entrepreneurship, small business ownership. It helps them think about problem solving and then how to test their concept and maybe reiterate, or they'll come up with a go, no-go kind of concept based on the information they collect from the class and from getting out of the building and talking to other people. That class meets on Tuesday nights for 6 weeks, total of 18 hours. Folks come in at 5:30, from 5:30 to 6. They eat. They're provided a light meal.
That's nice.
Yep, and it's all free other than their time is an investment. And if you can't invest your time in your business now before you're out there up and running, you're going to struggle, because it is an investment anytime you own a business.
Oh, yeah.
As you know, it takes a lot of commitment and persistence. But in addition to Nash Community College and N.E.W., I would be remiss if I didn't mention our local partners in this collaboration, which is the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce,
Great chamber.
Wesleyan Colleges, Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship. Station Square's been really good to us about giving us some free space in Central City, Rocky Mount.
Oh yeah.
So people don't have to travel quite so far to come to the class. It's a lot more convenient for some people. We've offered 2 of those classes so far, and we're going to have another one. If things remain as they are right now, it should start April 21st. If not, if we see that we need to postpone it, we will. Nash Community College at this time is not postponing or canceling anything. We're just following the coronavirus and
fluid situation.
Where it is very fluid. But we have no reason to postpone anything right now, and hopefully it will remain that way, I think.
Well, is it too late for somebody to get into this Ice House class?
The one that we currently have now is about halfway finished, but we will have that other one starting in April.
And there's still time to sign up for it?
It is still time to sign up for it. You receive a free workbook, a free textbook, which is based on a true story of a real live entrepreneur from the 40s and 50s who was a small business person, entrepreneur, when the word entrepreneur wasn't like the buzzword it is nowadays. He just went out there and did it. He was a very smart man through observation and self-study, self-educating, had a very successful business and brought his nephew into that business. And Clifton Talbert was also very successful. He was a Pulitzer nominee.
Oh, wow.
So, and you have online access to all the materials online. Now, we also have another program that's going to be starting pretty soon. It's Launch Rocky Mount. We've received, that's fueled by Wells Fargo grant funding. This allows us to offer that program.
Nice.
Same kind of format. It meets on Tuesday nights, 5:30 to 6, the light meal. 6 to 9 is a class. We meet only on Tuesday, but it's 10 weeks, so it's a total of 30 hours. There is going to be some mentoring in that class, also guest speakers like the Ice House has.
Oh, yeah.
We have built into the class that Well, let me step back for a minute. The class is to step you through the business plan, but also help you learn how to find your customers, identify your target market, marketing, understanding a lot of financial tools and all those things that many times we just don't learn about.
That's right.
And at the end of the class, you'll have a draft of a business plan or a working business plan. That very last class is designed for pitch competition, and that pitch competition, there'll be a panel of judges. They're going to select the top 4 pitches, and those folks are going to take home $500 apiece.
$500 real money.
$500 cash, real money, to put into either their business startup or their early stage business.
So it's a free class.
Free class,
You're feeding the people.
free food,
Give them 30 hours of education, business education.
business education.
They end up with a business plan,
That's right.
and 4 of them end up with $500 cash?
That's right. Yes.
That's unbelievable.
It is. And mentors. You know, we've got some local business people that are going to be mentors, but we also have SCORE on board that's going to help us with that. So they've come in as one of the partners. Same group of collaborators, local business service providers, Rocky Mount Chamber, Station Square, Wesleyan College Center for Business and Entrepreneurship,
It's a mouthful.
Small Business Center, SCORE, and the Center for Home Ownership and Economic Development. So we're all,
Wow.
you know, you can accomplish so much more when you work together and you leverage resources. And we're really, really in this area trying to build the entrepreneurial ecosystem to help businesses start and grow. I mean, when I look at, because I am a regional director, when I look at I want to call it the new triad area, the Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson triad area, there's a lot going on here in each one of the counties. And it's like a real renaissance time. It's a great time to start and or grow a business. I've had in the last 3 months, a lot of people coming in for loans to either start or to buy a business. I've had 2 back-to-back, $1.5 million, $1.7 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah, in my whole 27-and-a-half-year career, they are the 2 largest I've had to work with. And so we, help them with some financial projections to make, and you have to look at, you have to secure the financial records from the seller and take a look at that and then project what you think you're going to do. Is this look like something that's feasible, and is it worth me taking that kind of a risk, or should I just step back and start my own business
Buying a
at a
business
smaller scale?
Buying a business is tough.
It can be.
But let me walk you back a little bit, because this Launch Rocky Mount thing,
Sure.
with all the free meals and the 30 hours of business education and a business plan and a chance for a $500 award grant. If I wanted to sign up for that, and I guess I'm probably not eligible, but how does someone go about signing up for that?
Best way to sign up for that is to go to our website, which is Launch Rocky Mount Biz, BIZ.org. LaunchRockyMountBiz.org. Yep, .org. And on that website, there's information about the program. It has the partners. It has the actual scholarship application.
Wow.
And if you would like to be a mentor, which we're welcoming more mentors to come on board, because I foresee us having a good number of folks in these classes. There's also application that you can enter and express your interest in being a mentor.
Okay, so if you're thinking about starting a business, or you have a early stage business,
Yes.
I encourage you, sign up for this. This is valuable education. I've been to some of your classes, Teresa. They're great classes, and $500 cash and 30 hours of education and a business plan is amazing.
Yes.
And I'd like to volunteer right now to be a mentor.
Awesome.
And
Appreciate
I'd like to
that.
challenge any other experienced business people here in the Nash, Edgecombe, Rocky Mount, Wilson areas to volunteer, to give back, to take some of the things you've learned, find someone who can learn from it, and help them out with it, because that's what it's all about.
It is, and the commitment for a mentor could be 2 to 4 hours a month. And until you do it and you see how rewarding it is to help somebody, and especially help somebody be successful, you'll be hooked after that.
Well, and it helps, if you help somebody in your community be successful, you help yourself.
True.
Because keeping that money here in the community that money circulates and we all come out ahead.
That's right.
So if you're helping somebody else in the community, you're helping you.
Well, too, I think small businesses are really the heartbeat of the community.
That's
They're
right.
the ones that give back to the community. They're the ones that really improve the quality of life.
That's right.
You know, the Main Street businesses, the mom and pop shops, you know, a lot of times they're the ones with the kids in school, and they do the band boosters or the fundraisers or the nonprofits or whatever.
Right. Amazon's not going to sponsor your kids' Little League team.
It'd be hard to get that kind of money from an organization like that. Now, we do have industries that put money back into the community, no doubt. We appreciate them as well. But the small businesses make life really nice and enjoyable in our communities. We have a lot of jobs coming here in this area. And those folks that are coming here to live or work, you know, they're going to be shopping here. They're going to be going somewhere to get something to eat or, you know, to buy gas, and hopefully they'll stop for a show, or they'll frequent a retail clothing store and those kinds of things. So we definitely want to help those folks be successful.
That's wonderful.
Thanks.
That's wonderful. So that's that website one more time, because I'm excited about this one. It's launchrockymountbiz.org. Okay, sign up for this thing, launchrockymountbiz.org. How many spots do you have for it?
We probably want to cap it at 20. 15 to 20 students in that class is good. And we'll offer 3 classes, so we'll have one this semester, take a break during the summer because everybody's busy with vacations and doing other things in the summer. Come back in the fall, we'll offer the second cohort, and then in the spring of 2021, we'll have the 3rd class. If we get enough interest and enough local support from the different people in the community that can help us financially and or with mentoring, we'll keep this going as long as we possibly can. But on the horizon, we've got 3 classes, and you know, we really appreciate support of Wells Fargo to get us started on this journey.
It's nice. I can't imagine you won't fill up with only 20 spots. That's I'm going to encourage all the business folks I'm working with, because we got a bunch of them at small shops, small micro retailers, and I would hope we'd have at least 20 of them apply. You know, $500 cash, free food, and a business education, because a lot of us didn't have the money to go to business school and get a degree. I didn't get one, and you can learn from experience, which is how I've learned.
Right.
But tuition's high. You can make one little mistake, and you can lose $20,000 that a little bit of education would have prevented you from losing.
True. And you know, Fred, I work with people a lot that do have bachelor's, master's degrees, but maybe they don't understand the sales projection side or the financial tool to go after that loan to buy a business or start a business. And that's another thing with this class. We'll have opportunities for folks to look at microloans and other alternative sources of funding as well if they don't make it at the bank. A startup business, it's very hard for them to get a bank loan. Early stage, maybe not so much, but there are other lenders that will take a risk, a calculated risk, if the entrepreneur has a good business plan and they understand sales and the cash flow side of it, break even, and we're definitely here to help them with that information. As a matter of fact, our instructor, Ken Hunter, is a budget analyst for the City of Rocky Mount. So you talk about somebody that understands budgets and financials. He's the man that's going to be leading this class.
Right. That's a bean counter. That's a high-level bean counter.
Yes, it is. Very high level. And Melanie Deal is going to be your guest in the future. Yeah. Melanie is one of our featured presenters, subject matter experts on social media, email marketing, website. I was just talking to her today.
She's so good.
And she has volunteered to be a mentor.
She is so. I would spend, if I could get her to mentor me, and she won't probably for free, but I would spend hours with her. I attended,
great.
I think, 2 classes you put on with her in them, and both times I left knowing a whole lot that I hadn't known before. Actually, we just had a class yesterday at Small Shops Marketplace for some of my shopkeepers.
Right.
And what we were talking about was some of the stuff I learned at her classes about Google and about Facebook marketing and Google business, and it was 1% of what she taught me that I could express to them. And I've got people, you know, learning and moving forward just on that. So yeah, she's great.
I'll have to tell you a story. So with the Google your business and get your business on the map and all that came about, I'm like, well, I need to practice what we preach here and we teach here. So I put Small Business Center on Google.
Oh yeah.
And when I was up at Wake Tech as the director there, and we got a nice piece of business because of that. Because somebody found us, they were looking for a business education partner to help with a nice size event. It was the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, the Western Wake alumni chapter. And we did a financial fortitude expo with them, and that has been replicated for a number of years since then. But that's how that partnership all came about, because we were on Google. We had a Small Business Center on Google, and so I really encourage anyone and everyone to do that. Another great Google tool is Google Primer. So you can download that app on your phone, and you can get some bite-sized chunks of business education. Like 5 to 15 minutes you can read about sales or marketing or whatever. So that's a really great free tool as well. I
haven't used that one. The Google My Business we used some. I got to play with it after I went to the seminar you put on with Melanie.
Right.
We did fireworks for 4th of July.
Yeah.
And you know how Small Shops Marketplace is just 80 square foot stores or 100 square foot stores, tiny little shops. We did a bunch of fireworks. I had some left over because you buy extra. And so I said, hey, let's put it on Google. We'll give it a name. I think I'm calling it Professor Boom's Fireworks or something crazy. And I put it on Google, and I kid you not, since July 4th, we're averaging 6 to 8 people a month coming in for fireworks.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't a ton.
Yeah, but people are seeing it.
I've got almost 100 businesses at Small Shops Marketplace. So if we can get 6 per month per business times 100 businesses, that's 20 people a day. With free advertising. And I learned it from Melanie, and it cost me $0. And I think y'all gave me a soda and some pizza or something when I was there. So very valuable. The education that your organization provides and the speakers you get are just amazing.
Well, thank you. Our Small Business Center network, overall the whole group we have a lot of good speakers. Many of them kind of go from, I say, the circuit, but they have an area territory that they'll work in. And there are a lot of them out there. So they are also subject matter experts we can tap into if we need help with some things. Melanie also did the Facebook ads, which was very informational.
I was there.
And I know Caitlin Edmondson over at Edgecombe Community College has some things coming up on nonprofits, which has been a really big thing in her area for the nonprofits. And Melissa Evans over there in Wilson, she's just got a number of different things. Now, Melissa Evans at Wilson Community College also applied for one of those NC Idea grants, and so they are also offering the Ice House class over there.
That's amazing.
So she and I both are doing that. It's a great program. Can't say enough good stuff about it. Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed the few minutes, I guess I was there an hour, I was able to spend with your people there. And you gave me a copy of that book. I'm going to read it. I haven't read it yet. It's sitting on my bedside table, but I haven't read it yet, but it looks good. And they were a really motivated group of people. They
really are. One thing, about coming to the seminars and or the classes is you get to network with some like-minded business people. The ones in the class that are there to learn, but also when you have speakers like yourself. We had Troy Davis in there recently, also right behind you. He came in and he did a phenomenal job. And interestingly enough, there was a student in that class that wanted to do some downtown business development.
Wow.
That's a sweet spot for Troy. He's in property management, and he's doing something downtown also. So those two were able to make a connection from him coming in speaking as a guest speaker. And I know from working with you, Fred, you've made the offer for our Small Business Center to send any home-based entrepreneur to a retail incubator at your shop, which is a great, great tool. I mean, for somebody that wants to get out of the house and has a retail kind of thing they're doing, they don't have to sit there and babysit it by having that incubator space at your shop. And then speaking of that kind of get out of the house mindset with our home-based businesses, Station Square has co-working space. Rocky Mount Mills has co-working space. You know, I've talked to somebody recently, a reporter with the Telegram, about that, benefits of getting out, having a professional image, meeting people outside of your home, networking with other business professionals.
All beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Teresa, we're almost out of time.
Okay.
I'd like to thank you for coming out and sharing some of the excitement and the stuff you're doing there, and the neighboring counties are doing at the community colleges. I encourage anybody who's serious about going into business or about improving their business, look into what the North Carolina Community College system is doing in the small business development centers. There's classes everywhere. It's free, but it's worth money.
It is.
What's free isn't always worthless. And I've learned from it. After 30 years in business, I've learned something from every one of those classes I've been to. I know Kevin at Lorraine McCoffey, who's got a business and is doing great, has learned. And take advantage of these things and grow your business or get into business. And Teresa can help you with that.
Let me just add real quick before we close out. Anyone interested in finding a small business center close to them can go to ncsbc.net.
ncsbc.net.
North Carolina Small Business Center Network. So ncsbc.net, and then click on locations at the top, and you can find the location close to you. You can go there for counseling. You can find out what seminars are coming up.
Outstanding.
Great.
Thank you very much,
Thank you for
Teresa.
an opportunity to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Sure.